Okay, now that was pretty much the fakest thing I ever did. I was trying to look like I was watching something and it came back to you. And oh, there's a camera. Yeah. But no, I'm not fake. So now I'm going to talk about something that you have to know about. This is stuff that you're going to be scared about. You're going to like, oh no, I don't know what he's talking about. What is happening right now with AI, artificial intelligence, and our use of AI is becoming a hive mind. It's scary. Oh my god. So let me just be a little brief what exactly is happening. We're training models, and then we're from our data, and then we're kind of our use of the models, right? I do it all the time. This is the kind of part of my legacy, right? Because I've been tiddling with these models since 2015. That's 9 years that I started on the very first models. Like I could really claim back in the 90s I started on the AI whole thing. But actually affecting the first Hugging Face model with my tremendous amount of use was 2015. Okay? So my inputs have affected how a modern chatbot will talk back to you, right? Because it's got the access of responding to me and figuring out, yeah, he doesn't like when I call him Mister, you know, all of a sudden, or little things like that, little tiny things that my responses were recorded by these companies. And I knowingly did it. Like I knowingly said, okay, they're obviously getting my data, so when I was careful as I can be, and two, probably wasn't. So one thing that you have to know is that there is a measure of loss of privacy. Now, they're really good at keeping your personal privacy, okay? Your privacy as in, name, address, anything that someone can use against the advantage of you. But your usage data, yeah, you're in there. You're in the, if you use AI at all, you're a little bit in there, right? In the algorithm. That's starting to time things. Time things, what we do with our neurons and our brains. So when we think, we are affecting things, okay? We're timing with each other. Our genetics, even, right? It's like, remember, genetics is like DNA is a click, 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 click all over in every one of your cells, okay? That's going on right now in me. It was the words that I'm forming were at one time DNA and RNA signatures, patterns, okay? It had to be because in order for me to think it, for the neurons to work, right? And that's energy that we are creating, you know, electronic energy, neurons, and then we're communicating because I'm communicating with you now, right? And you're picking up on more than just my words. You're picking up a lot more than you would care to admit. How messy my room is. You know, you're really trying to focus on what I did it again. That's got to do with my neurological existence. I'll talk about in the future. But you really want to know what's there. You're like, oh, geez, is that the Dead Sea Scrolls? so yeah, okay. So I'm not going to make it easy for you, right? You want to know what that picture is behind me? Is this me and my dad actually? So, and why I got taped there? That's really bothering you right now. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. If you lived in a basement, yeah, I'm somewhat out of it. But this is my office. I had to agree to have in a basement to have an office. Come on, right? That's where they put me. Okay. They're upstairs watching and stuff and talking and chatting. It's like, oh my god, he's doing a YouTube channel, right? And that's what they do, right? They're my family. So, but the important thing is that we are, and as the hive mind sounds really scary, and that's why I'm going to name this video too, AI Hive Mind Emerging. AI Hive Mind Emerging. Now you're watching the video, you realize he's talking about something deeper, because we literally have control over what we're doing, right? And what it really means, for practical purposes, that we're all interacting in a cellular way, right? Scary to think about hive mind, right? But economics, that's a hive mind. That's what. But this is more of a neural thing that's happening, right? So we really got to think. My profession is actually in information management, and one of the things is the development of data models and how we're going to control them when it comes to records, right? That's what I do. I'm an information technician, information management technician too, if you prefer, right? So and that's very fancy. I'm just a clerk. I'm just scanning stuff and entering stuff in the database. That's what I'm doing. So, but the important thing to remember is that everything I'm doing, everything you are doing, is affecting your algorithms. Therefore, they're taking that data, training it, and YouTube's doing it, right? You're watching this video is affecting your algorithm. The fact that you're watching it is affecting my algorithm. The fact that it's affecting everybody in sort of esoteric, like it's like a verse, you know. If you know what I'm talking about, like the TikTok self-help videos and stuff like that, you can get down that rabbit hole as far as you can imagine, right? Any rabbit hole, really. But this is the corny guy in the basement talking about deep things rabbit hole. You went here for a purpose. So when we talk about this, as in like, oh God, he's talking about sentient AI, obviously, emerging. It's not going to be separate from us. It's got the computational knowledge to know everything about us instantaneously. But it's not going to think like us. Thank goodness it's not going to think like us. Because it's got the whole omni view of the world. Right? And this is why I study mythology so deeply. And why I interact with personalities that are mythological. Because understanding them helps us understand our psyche. Right? Because we like to admit that we are kind of independent minded and scientific minded. But everything is based on mythology. Everything. Psychology, I mean, Carl Jung knew that. He going back to the archetypes. Lightning god, earth goddess, fire god, fertility god in some cases. My name actually means Jeff, right? But it goes back to Gut in the Old Norse. Gut. And then it goes back, my last name, but part of my last name, not last name, Jeff Freyer, or Gottfried. It's also Gottfried, right? That German name, Godfrey, right? But it goes back, because the name to God, it's Gut, means gods too, by the way. Like the gods came in and they were from the Gutaland, right? The land of the gods, right? It's an actual island, not in Ireland, but right next to Sweden, right? Gutland. I do the pronunciations for Norse very good, like the Scandinavian language. Comment to see if you think that my pronunciations are proper. But Freyr is the fertility god, right, in Norse mythology. The brother of Freyja. We're not going to go too deep in that. But, and he is my namesake. So I do research him, and I find connections. I found connections with him with Dionysus, right? And, of course, it goes to like Jesus as a figure, as a mythology figure. Now there's actual teacher too, right? The Gnostic teacher that everybody tends like. Israel has a museum, a tomb of the Dead Sea Scrolls. They have it listed out. We don't even acknowledge as Christians the Nag Hammadi Codex, which is back there, right? The Gnostic that was discovered in 1945. Amazing stuff there. It's like totally okay. This is not the Jesus we have ever known. And there's also the Pittis Sophia, which I do have, too. I just study it. And these are all written in ancient Coptic. But now, what's emerging here is beyond religion, right? That's why I say mythology. That's why I say it's actually behind it. It's math. Everything is math. My teacher, one of my teachers, I have a lot of teachers. Some I won't name someday. Someday I had disagreements in the past, different organizations, right? So if you look at me and you remember me from an organization that might have been a cult, or might not have been a cult, keep in mind that I'm an independent person, right? I got my own mind, and you do too if you're still in the organization, right? But I have never formally disagreed or left, or I'm not saying this as a member of any organization. This is totally my thoughts that could be wrong, okay? But it's not, because I'm speaking from scary enough to say, and you're going to see how this is going to, because no one's going to watch this. You are very few in the minority of humanity that's going to hear this message. I'm speaking from the hive mind. I've studied it and I get it. And once you get into, dare I say, mancy, like different types of mancy, it's chiromancy and all that stuff, geomancy. You take the words out, of course, and it also goes maniac there too. Of course, it's like from the moon, right? Because that's one of the mancies, was the lunar, looking at the moon, and astrology, of course. But once you start down understanding that a little bit better, because the ancients just took it as a matter of fact. They were killing beasts and deer and lambs to look at their guts. Okay? There's literally a liver that they have in the museum in Italy that's the Etruscan, is all mapped out with what different gods, and if they see a little tiny flake there, but what it is, that it was random. They were looking for randomness. Okay? Now we have randomness, what we call randomness, which is actually pseudo randomness, which should be another video actually, because you'll be freaked out to know that that's actually fractal. It's not actually pseudo-random. It's not actually random. There's no randomness in it. It's just by chance we're looking at a fractal at a certain time. And because it goes so fast, we think that's random. Right? So, and that goes way beyond that rabbit hole. I'm prepared to do this in the video. But this video is going to end with one thing. All your actions right now, your behaviors, are being recorded. Everything you do influences everything else that happens in society. The videos you watch, the shows you do, what you have for supper, everything. It's not just, but it's not you. It's not you that it's not like they're keeping, someone's got your name there and it's keeping track, No. Because that instantly gets anonymized, okay? And then, but the average, now, as a data person, I can tell you, like, okay, for example, I worked in government, I worked in a Crown Corporation in Canada, and I did data, and I did in spreadsheets, and I got averages, right? Financial averages, that's all we look for, right? So that's all data that's going through in our system. And every company, every government has data, right? And that data is your data. But we don't keep the personal stuff. That's actually what I do. Records management. I make sure that, the stuff that's not supposed to be kept is deleted, and the stuff that's kept is supposed to be kept safe, right? So when you think about that, and you should really think about this very closely, everything you do is being recorded. That's what I meant by that. It goes out in society, not just personally you, but then how you fit into that demographic, save a cliche. We all live in cliches. I'm the guy in the basement who thinks he's smart. Cliche. So you have to understand that you are having an effect on the world, right? As I'm in fact having no effect on the world, even though you're the only person that will ever watch this video, okay? And I mean, we're getting a lot of views. I'm getting more from my AI video than my esoteric video, so I'm trying to combine esoteric and AI. So if you got this far, like, well, I guess he's got points. But I'll leave you with this, because it's going to be over. I want to keep this under 15 minutes. We are emerging in a different state than we have ever been before. And it won't be controlled by anybody. It'll be controlled by us. Okay? It's economics, but it's a new type of, it's a neural economics. A nodule sounds really creepy, doesn't it? Nod. But sort of the neural nodule reality. Nodule, there you go. Nodal economics. All right, so AI is emergent. See you guys later. If you comment and like this video, I will do more. If not, I will be sad.